When you think about fruit, in order for a fruit to produce, there has to be a what? In the ground. There has to be a seed in the ground. So what type of seed? If I'm planting love, care into your heart, the same way that Brock did you. He planted the seed of, man, I care about you. He planted the seed of, exposing you to resources, exposing you to different things. Then, okay, he just planted the seed, like he can't make you go do it. You know what I'm saying? He just showed you, taught you the right way to do things. And the fruit is you actually allowing that to grow in your life and it manifests. All of us are producing some type of fruit in somebody's life, whether we are doing it intentionally or not, because people watching us.
Mentors are very important in the lives of our kids because I feel like it's an extension of the family.
The key, and what I judge it on, is how consistent can you be? How many touches can you get on that same set of young men? Because if you just come in one time and then that's it, that's not mentorship. That's a visit.
I've been mentoring and I've been working with young people for over 15 years. And now I'm really beginning to see a lot of those fruit from the seeds that I planted early on.
Interview number 3. Mr. Berry, take 1.
Got it. Okay, everything rolling, and you're good to go, Ricardo.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Mentorship is actually life or death. We don't have an option. And it's so many people who have resources. There's so many people who have been exposed to things. And I often tell men, if you're not mentoring, what are you doing? And if this next generation is not going to get this knowledge that you have, it does no good that it ends when you pass on or when you die or when you're too sick to talk about it, too old. So while you're young and you still have blood running through your veins, I think you need to mentor a young person.
Every single young man that we can get our hands on and who we can get his ears tuned into what we're talking about and what we're doing, I don't think that you can change that. You can't change the numbers without having strong, consistent mentorship.
Men stepping up, stop being afraid of these young guys and get in their life. God said he did not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. If we sit back and continue to watch the cycle, it's not going to stop. Especially the men who profess to know Jesus. Right. We should be at least mentoring or discipling at least one guy that you know in a bad situation.
Now I'm trying to contain my emotions because
it's hard.
On top of all of this weight, I'm a mother now. And I didn't ask for that. I inherited that when my mother was dying. And I had my first boy at 36, and he gave me a boy. And so I can't help but address it because he gonna grow up to be a man. And no matter what I put in him, no matter how much I take him to school, no matter what I tell him to do, he's gonna have to get in society and function. And I need to know that what I'm laboring and pushing him to do is gonna bear me fruit one day. Not bear me strange fruit with a knee on his neck. Not bear me strange fruit with being harassed every time we turn around. Not giving me strange fruit.
Montgomery, Alabama. also known as the cradle of the Confederacy, is the place where change comes very slowly. It stands beside the Alabama River, where many African Americans were imported and sold into slavery. Montgomery is also the state's capital, which is evident by the grand and beautiful Capitol building located on Dexter Avenue. The city has an unforgettable history, and the events from the past are still long felt by many around the city, across the country, and around the world. In the early mornings in Montgomery, Alabama, Anthony Brock, co-founder and head of school at Valiant Cross Academy, sits in his office, diligently working and preparing for the school day. It's evident that he is immersed in his purpose of empowering young people.
Fred and I are from Montgomery, Alabama, from a long line of educators. My mom's a teacher, my dad's retired principal, retired Methodist minister. So education kind of runs through my veins. Most of my aunts, uncles, all in education. So we're from Montgomery. And after high school and after college, I ended up becoming an educator in Autauga County Schools, which is the Prattville school system. I spent about 13, 14, 15 years there. During that time, I served from everything from a head football coach. I had some time as an at-risk specialist for the central office. I worked as assistant principal and I worked as a principal. But I believe my most meaningful work came from a calling that God put on my life while in Prattville, and that was to start a mentoring program. And my mentoring program was called Brother to Brother and Sister to Sister. I had a lot of men and women that helped with that program throughout the years. And I think it was at that time that God really planted that seed in me to start mentoring more.
Mr. Brock has always had this vision. He's always wanted to be an impact on African American males, period. And in that, he actually came to me and just said, Ms. Garrett, I really want to start a mentoring program. And I was like, okay, what is that going to look like? And he talked about what it looked like, and he talked about the whys behind it.
I was walking by a young man in the hallway, and he had been asleep. And so I decided to just circle back and ask him, why is he sleeping in this teacher's class day after day after day? And I found out he was taking care of his siblings at the house, and mom was working around the clock. And I said, you know what, I need to start staying after school and start mentoring these young people.
And I was like, you know what, Mr. Brock, I think that's a great idea, because even at that time, we had a lot of young men who were in single-parent households who really had a lot that they could give, but they had no one to really pick them up and show them the manly ways in order to be better than where they are. And so we just jumped right in. There were no discussions about it. Let's do it.
One school located within walking distance from where Dr. King laid the groundwork for the civil rights movement and preached many of his famous sermons is looking to change the narrative.
Who's got my back? I got your back, I got your back. Run to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back. Ooh, I got your back. Run to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back. Ooh, I got your back, bro. Too loud.
And I always had a vision of starting an all-male school all the way back to my days mentor. We found a group of men here in Montgomery who had been praying for a school, some very influential people here in Montgomery, and we got together and started meeting on what would that look like to open up an all-male school. Fred and I took a year. We traveled the southeast region, went to Birmingham, Nashville. We went to Mississippi, just looking at other schools, did some professional development. And Fred and I actually had the opportunity to walk door to door to start recruiting young people to go to the school. You know, in Montgomery, when you say all boys school, a lot of people were uncomfortable about it. But we walked the community in West Montgomery. We went door to door. We had way more no's than yes. Fast forward to fall of 2015, Valiant Cross Academy opened. We opened our doors to 30 awesome, amazing young people.
Valiant Cross motto. We are back like skate. I got it right. We're right for one. We're right for this. We're right for 10. We're right for X. We're right for love. We are back like skate. It is that young man right love.
So one thing that I noticed just with the parents. They really want their kids to be here. I mean, it's just like, I really want my baby to be here. What can we do to get my child into the school? What can we do to keep my child within this school? So the hunger level for the parents and just having their child here at Valiant Cross is extremely high. I've never seen something like that before.
They really are bright and brilliant, and they have so much to offer the world, except for they just can't see it right now. And they put up their own barriers, not realizing that you're really creating your own barrier when you can just take a moment, be educated, be motivated, know that at the end of the day, you're going to be brilliant and you're going to offer this world something that no other will ever see. And some of the things I tell them a lot is I'm going to be sitting in a chair one day at my home, and I'm going to be watching television, and I'm going to see them, and I'm going to go, oh, yes. And I knew you would be right there where you are today. You are that CEO of that company, or yes, you're the judge of this, really, really famous case. So I try to let them see who we see. That way they can see that within themselves.
If you really walk around Montgomery and you assess the entire city and you look at those areas compared to the East Side or Pike Road, what do you see? There's no amenities. There's no community outreach programs, community centers. The streets are bad. There's no economic development.
Washington Park community is the lowest capital income places in America, one of them, at the bottom.
If you put people in economic depressed situations where there's a scarcity of resources and there's not enough to go around for everybody to meet their basic needs as human beings, and then you put them and then you cage them up, they're going to have the same reaction. I don't care what color they are.
So we find a lot of kids and family who are struggling in every sense of that word. The parents are struggling. Kids are coming home from school and the parents cannot help with homework because they are not prepared.
Bring your young men into Valiant Cross Academy. We want to make them good, strong husbands, strong fathers, great citizens, and eventually leaders in Montgomery and throughout the world.
Without Valiant Cross, I wouldn't be in this position that I am now.
Being able to go to Valiant Cross is special to me because I've gained experiences and moments in my life that I've not did before.
Valiant Cross changed my life a lot. At first, I was a bad kid. I got suspended almost every time I went back to school, but Valiant Cross has helped me with my anger a lot and my attitude.
I've calmed down a lot more going to Valiant Cross, discipline-wise.
Mr. Brock, he instilled so much in us to try to make us be great, later on in life. And, it helped me out a lot because before I got there, I didn't have, as much as, knowledge and stuff. But when I got to Valiant Cross, he kind of helped me out.
When I first went, I didn't see any interest into the school. But until I went there for a minute and started getting used to the teachers and the staff, I see that it made me a better person in the future.
Valiant Cross Academy made me a better young man because it basically motivated me. Mr. Brock, he motivated me, and the teachers and staff, they really care about us.
Some of these kids come from an environment or neighborhoods where they're not exposed to a lot of things, man. And when they come here, we give them that opportunity. We provide opportunities for them to be excellent and see things that they never dreamed of seeing.
Exposure is the key. Exposure helps to breed the educational tools that young people need that they don't necessarily can see.
Oftentimes, if you live in an area and you don't have any exposure, you don't know what you could be. You aren't put in the position to be challenged to be anything other than what you've already seen in the community.
If we can give these young people the same opportunities, if a young person, does not matter here in Montgomery, if a young person's born in East Montgomery, West Montgomery, North or South, if they have these opportunities put before them, I believe that they will succeed on the same trajectory of those who have those things.
Exposure is critical. The leaders of Valiant Cross Academy ensure the scholars are presented with opportunities that will expand their horizons. One such opportunity is the Red Tail Scholarship Foundation.
I'll start the fuel flow. Hands up.
I'm scared. Please, Lord. What's that bag for? This is a bag just in case I throw up. I'm scared.
At the same altitude, which is 4,500 feet. All right, so I'm going to give you the controls. You ready to fly?
Yes, sir.
And my only instruction is go straight this direction and hold level flight. You have the airplane.
I have the airplane, Colonel.
Got it.
3 miles straight into runway 10.
Right there. Very good. All right, so back to the right just a little bit more.
Tower 1055, approximately 13 miles.
Hey, go back level. Hey, go back to the right. You can smile, see.
My first flight, it was crazy, man. But I tell you, it's a great opportunity. Thank God for Valiant Cross and Mr. Sparrow allowing this to happen, because making my hopes and dreams come true. You know, first time my family flying a plane. But it was crazy. I got through it. Thought I was gonna throw up, but good. I ain't even need the bag. But thank God.
Well, the solution for me has always been to, when I see a problem, just to dive in. And the way I dive in has always been through mentoring. I tell people that I really never had any aspirations of being a principal. I just wanted to mentor young people. And so I think it's going to take more programs, like a lot of the programs that are popping up here in Montgomery. You know, we all kind of popped up in the same last 4 to 5 years, and there's a lot of great work going on. And these people are actually living and walking life with these young people, discipling them along the way, holding their hand. And whatever the case that may be, whether they want to go to college, whether they want to learn a trade, whether it's dancing they want to do, whether it's poetry, art, whatever it is they want to do, we need to partner these people with people that can show them the way to do it.
And I'm talking about mentorship in your academics, mentorship in your social, mentorship in your career, mentorship in your spiritual. You got to have all of those things, I believe, if you want to start to see the scale tip back in the positive direction, specifically for African American males, but for everybody in the country for that matter.
I decided to host a manhood summit under the foundation that we started in my brother's name, and had the honor of having Mr. Anthony Brock come and be our keynote speaker. And these were young men that really didn't want to be there, but we got them there, 50 young black boys, and to have males from the community, preachers and fraternity brothers and Mr. Brock come down and pour into them on that day, I saw a shift take place in every last one of those young men. Mr. Brock came in the room and he commanded the room, and he told every one of them that they had more in them. He made them get up and sit up straight in their chair. And I'm telling you, since that day, I've had mothers calling me, telling me that they've seen a difference in their child and their son. When is the next one?
This is one young man. Matter of fact, I think he was at this time, he was the second strongest guy on the football team here in Montgomery. I went to, because his mom put me on the list to check him out of school. I went to check him out one day because we was doing an assembly down in Georgiana, Alabama. So the principal came out. He said, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it. He said, I was about to kick this guy out of school. He said, because 2 years ago, he was in the alternative school for punching the assistant principal, knocking him out. And he said, and this guy used to walk down the hall. People would move out of the way because he's coming. He said, but now he want to walk down the hall with his Bible in his hand and preaching to people. He said, so whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So it's just with him, and there's many more stories like that where we've seen him go for angry. Matter of fact, he texted me on the way here, from angry to just one of the most loving people that it is.
Ms. Jones is just not my teacher. I also see Ms. Jones in the community. I also see Ms. Jones at my church. I also see Ms. Jones really talking to my mom and having a conversation with my mom. And telling my mom like, oh, he's falling asleep in class. I'm really concerned about that because he's brilliant. So majority of the time, whenever I tell them, hey, I see more within you. I also hit them. So let's just say I just say something bad like, hey, I'm highly disappointed that you're not paying attention in class today. Always flip that on the back end and say, because you're brilliant, because you can do better. You can run this school one day.
And oftentimes when you come from where our young men come from, dignity, identity, and significance is a huge thing. We all searching for it, even if we don't know, we're looking for dignity, identity, and significance, right? Dignity asks the questions, what am I worth? Identity asks the question, who am I? Significance asks the question, what is my purpose? So if I don't know those three things, I'm pretty much in bad shape, and I'm trying to figure it out. And the streets is teaching me this stuff.
The crime rate has risen dramatically over the past 5 years.
A young life lost in Montgomery shortly after 1 a.m. on Thursday. 16-year-old Jalen Saunders shot to death while inside his house at the corner of Hill and Dillard Streets.
Those who are doing these crimes, they don't have the strength. They're cowards.
The staggering numbers have caused people to band together.
If you know anything, don't be silent.
No more!
In the past, people of color marched for a different purpose, for equality. Now, it's to stop attacks on each other.
We're tired and fed up and angry about the crime. And we have to stand. We have to come together as a community.
So to know Jalen know that he is the most undeserving, not as if anybody was deserving of it, but Jalen was, when you say an innocent bystander, for him to be sleeping in his bed and his life to be cut short, for him to go to bed not knowing that would be his last night, it's just definitely a feeling of not being fair. He didn't deserve it. And it goes back to whoever did it, whoever took his life, is someone who did not value his life or other people's lives. And for them to do that, it's just impacted so many people, not only his immediate family, it impacted generations. What was he going to become? What were his kids going to become? What was he going to have? A boy, a girl? What was his profession going to be? And we can never be calloused and we can never be numb to those types of situations. We need enough people on the front line to be able to point and say that's wrong as well. Like, we can't have crime against each other in our communities as well. And Jalen, after that, there were a lot of marches, there were a lot of rallies, because a lot of people are tired of it. A lot of people want something different. But it does go to not just being able to say we have to stop the crime. It's going to take people to get in the trenches in these programs that we speak about. It's going to take people to actually work with these young people, not to give up on them. Because then, of course, the narrative of 2 lives being lost at the same time is just a tragic. And, my heart goes out to his family. Just for the boys at the school to have to be pallbearers at such a young age to one of their classmates really hit home with a lot of us as well. But I will say in 2022, when we have our first graduating class, that he will be rewarded and he will get his diploma from Valiant Cross Academy.
We have another program called Flipping the 334. I want you all to make sure that y'all take a tour, and then when y'all take this tour, I challenge y'all on y'all ride back to downtown. Look at our community. Look at all of the abandoned homes. Look at all of the abandoned buildings, and then I want y'all to come back and get involved, okay?
Charles Lee, founder of That's My Dog Jr., is at the forefront of providing opportunities with the first ever all-teen ran restaurant.
Witnessed my best friend get murdered at 12 years old, got shot in the forehead. 13 years old, I ended up getting shot myself in the chest. 18 years old, I ended up moving to Florida, selling drugs on a bigger scale. Got arrested, got 2 felonies, and ended up in jail myself. There, I was kind of like, God, why has my childhood been so messed up? And he was like, because I got a purpose for you. You know, and when I first got locked up, whatever, when I first got the 2 felonies, one of them could carry a 10-year bid. And so I was like, man, I definitely can't go and do 10 years of my life. And so I was like, God, if you for real, like, I need to talk to you. And he came into my life, you know, and when I ended up giving the system 2 years of my life. And when I was down, I was kind of, you know, just reading my Bible, and I got a chance to focus for real and figure out, like, why was I created? What was my purpose for living? Like, why was I here? And why was my childhood so messed up? And he was like, because I got a purpose for you. Instead of, pretty much, I need you to kind of go back and reach as many youth as you can and let them know, like, you know, all the mistakes that you made in hopes that they will never make those same mistakes. Came back to Montgomery, Alabama, and I started coaching basketball. And my 4th year in, I thought I was doing really good, you know, coaching some young guys. We was winning some games, losing some games, and had a young guy was going through a tough time, 11 years old, with tattoos on his arm. And he came one time and he was like, hey, coach, he was like, come outside. And he was like, where can I have my gun? I don't want to take it inside the gym. And I ended up taking him home and saying the situation was a lot worse. And whenever I was going to leave, he kind of came outside and he was like, coach, don't leave me here with these guys. You know, he was some guys that was in there. His brother got killed a week prior to that incident or whatever. And he was just like, take me with you. And so God was like, instead of you teaching kids how to win the basketball game for a couple of hours, teach them how to win in life.
Before I came here, I was just like, all right, college, then get a job, and then retire. But there's more to life than just go to college and then then return. So now I'm starting to open up a t-shirt business, online marketing business, and I'm only 16.
That's our goal. Our goal is to give kids exposure. So we got the first ever teen-ran restaurant just because a lot of our kids really want to work. Overwhelmingly, they want to work. They just don't know how to go and secure their jobs because they don't have a lot of mentors that's telling them, you know, hey, this is how you dress. They don't know they can't go in there with their pants hanging out their butt or headphones in their ear or 20 minutes late with a great excuse.
Purpose bears a grave responsibility. In the heart of Westside Montgomery, Pastor Ken Austin, founder of the Mercy House, lives out his mission daily of serving the people in his community.
Well, you know, we often realize the Bible teaches us that where your heart is, your treasure will be also. And so the Mercy House is literally the heart of New Walk of Life Church. And that's what you see. You know, all of our treasure goes into the Mercy House because we believe that. You know, this literally is an outreach part of a church. I just passed St. Paul AME Zion Church and the pastor outside on the street, you know, with a sign, free lunch for children. I mean, that's what I believe churches should do. So you see the Mercy House, but it is just the heart of a church that trying to reach a community, you know, that believe that the church should be outside of the walls, reaching people, helping people, and empowering people. I'm a result of mentors. So I know firsthand, you know, what it means to be 13 and not have a mom and not have a guidance. I know what it means to walk into a classroom, you know, when you don't have the clothes or you don't have a lunch and no one's at home, you know, helping you with your homework. So I know the power of mentors. I know how a person showing up that literally care and not just talking changes the whole world.
And Pastor don't only help you inside the church, he help you outside the church. Like, not even on a Sunday, he'll call and check on you, and he'll take you places like just to have fun with you.
It's not many people who doing this, like Pastor. What makes the Mercy House special for me is that when I come, it's like I feel comfortable. There's some places I don't feel comfortable going. Like, I feel comfortable with Pastor and all of the staff that helps him.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. showed so much courage when he, a young Baptist minister from Atlanta, led the civil rights movement, which sparked a national outcry to end legalized racial discrimination, disenfranchisement, and racial segregation of African Americans. On the front lines with Dr. King in the face of oppression and injustice stood a little girl. At only 8 years old at the time.
And we're going to take a look at 8-year-old Cheyenne with Dr. Martin Luther King, explaining why she decided to march with the grown-ups. Take a look.
How you doing? Glad to see you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Why are you marching?
So we can be free and just, and so other people can be free, and so the troopers can't hit no one.
She is a first-hand witness to Montgomery then, Montgomery now, and the progress in between.
I truly believe that passion came from my growing up in the Selma civil rights movement with Dr. Martin Luther King and others, because it was Dr. King and so many others who touched my life when I was a little girl. And I didn't even know at that time that I was being mentored in such a hostile environment. And as a result of that, when I was growing up and going to college and trying to do those things that was instilled in me as that little girl, one of the things that I never knew this. I never placed emphasis, neither did my parents, on me going to college because they couldn't afford it. But Dr. King kept encouraging me to get the best education that I possibly can, even in spite of my being poor. And that was one of my goals as a little girl. And while my parents couldn't afford that, Ricardo, they found people to help them to send me to college. But I always knew that whatever I did after I would have completed college, I wanted to work with young people.
Across the nation, fatherless homes plague our young black men, and the city of Montgomery is no exception. But there are some people,
Dwayne Rembrandt,
who are looking for ways to combat these issues. Every week, Dwayne Rembrandt, founder of the Flatline Movement, meets with a group of kids for fellowship and food. He uses this platform as a means to push these youngsters toward a higher purpose.
Because of the way that I grew up, got involved with the schools, like doing devotions and Bible study with the football teams and with the guys on the football teams. And it grew so fast that the coaches was reaching out to me a lot, even during the day while I'm at the hotel. I knew what the Lord wanted from me. I just wasn't ready to accept it. You know, and I remember him telling you, either gonna have to stop going to these schools or you're gonna let this job go, because it demands a lot of your time. I told my wife, yeah, God telling me to quit my job and start Flatline, you know, which I didn't even know what that meant. All I knew was I was supposed to help African-American young fatherless boys.
Children need love. Children need affection. Above all, children need fathers. Single-parent households have spiked since the 1970s, with black men being primarily raised by single women. Without a father in the home, the impact has been profound.
A father in the child's life, not just in the house, in his life, in proximity of his life, living there and giving there and investing there is essential to a child.
People actually told me this, friends of mine who didn't have it in the house, they've told me that, you know, back in the day, they couldn't articulate it, but they actually envied the fact that they didn't have it and I did, because they saw it as an obvious advantage.
And a lot of little boys in the neighborhood, for some reason, they were attracted to our house because they saw me and my brothers being taken care of. They saw that we had food on our table every single day. They saw my dad and mom take us to church, and they yearned for that.
But those men are very strong-willed. They are purposeful in everything they do. And so often these young men don't get to see that. They typically see a male in their lives sometimes for a short period of time, and then they leave, and there's never a why to why that's happening.
We can relate to our young men in ways that, our mothers and grandmothers and aunts never can. Now, they can provide the love and the support and the nurturing aspect of it. And some of our mothers and grandmothers and aunts, have to be really hard on our young men because fathers aren't around sometimes.
75 to 85% of African American males born without a father in the house. That is a lot of the reason that they're viewed angry, because at most times these young people are angry. I mean, I just stepped out of the hallway getting onto a young man who I know for a fact is angry at the way that he feels he's been done and the absenteeism of his father.
Too many of our young men are already accustomed to that person bailing on them. So many of the men who are coming from these backgrounds, the young men, boys, and all the way up to grown old men, are dealing with those issues of, that first male who was supposed to be in their life, for whatever reason, he wasn't there. Whether he left, whether he passed away, whether he was taken away in whatever capacity.
If the father is removed from there, then something else speaks that voice and fills that void. And oftentimes is negativity. Oftentimes is something unlearned, and oftentimes is something very negative. So a father in a home, in a child's life, gets the first voice to build a child, gets the first voice to strengthen and to direct the child. And that's essential.
This guy's still walking and following commands.
Time for taser, I think.
My twin brother, Terrence Crutcher, was shot by a white police officer in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you saw that tragic video, you would hear police officers in the helicopter say one phrase: he looked like a bad dude.
That looks like a bad dude too, to be honest with them.
And I don't know what a bad dude looks like from 20,000 feet up in the air, but the only thing I would suspect that they meant was he was black. And so I feel that the society as a whole, they view black men as bad dudes, guilty, dangerous, simply because of the color of their skin.
I'm not going to talk about politics. Okay. I'm not going to talk about voting. But what I want you all to do is listen to me when I tell you about the black experience. This country promised me that if I worked hard, that if I did everything the right way, that if I committed to making myself great, I can have the American dream. But I'm standing up here and I'm heartbroken because I went to the military at 17. I woke up in war when I was 18. I saved 41 lives by the time I was 19. I went to college. I went to law school. Only to find out that at the end of the day, I'm still a nigger. And every day, I wake up and I experience trauma. Trauma just by this skin that I didn't ask for. And I don't understand it. Why do they hate me because I'm black? Why am I constantly being treated wrong just because of the skin that I'm in? I don't understand racism. And there are not enough people who understand this experience because they're not us. You'll never understand, brother. And then because you don't understand it, you don't take it serious. And you sympathize with everybody except for the people who look like me. When I go to the courtrooms, I see nothing but people who look like me. I see the judges giving everybody the benefit of a doubt except for the people who look like me. This is Montgomery, Alabama, the birthplace of the civil rights movement. Yes. Yeah. We need to start acting like it. Yes. Yeah. The country changed because of Montgomery. It changed because of us. Yes. Take it back. This is the state that started making people treat everybody like they're human.
The warmth of love is essential, And with police brutality now being a leading cause of death for African American men, to them, the world seems so cold. The negative labels have created many obstacles for people of color. Some may say, why even try? But it leaves many with the burning question, who loves me?
I believe that love covers a multitude of faults, and it's very important that you instill that in children at an early age, because based on upbringing, based on environment, based on single-parent homes, based on not having a mom or a dad, that shapes a child's future. It shapes how children tend to, I would say, display love and affection toward other individuals. And I believe that it's very important that we speak life into our young black men, our young little girls, because they don't believe, a lot of these children, they don't believe that they're valued. They don't know their worth unless somebody tells them.
How can I hear you? How can I know you genuinely got the best interest from my heart if I don't know you love me, you know? And I think it's huge because that's how we do break down a lot of barriers, by just showing them that we love them. Just the simple I got your back sometimes works, you know what I'm saying? Because if you never had nobody to have your back, just knowing that this person that loves you, they got your back, you know that you can accomplish anything because you got somebody in your corner that genuinely loves you.
One thing I think that's so awesome about Valiant Cross Academy and our opportunities of what we're able to do is to build relationships with our scholars. And in that, we show them tough love sometimes because they don't think that anything good is going to come of what they do. So building those relationships require for us to learn who they really are and what they're wanting in life, and then to continuously remind them that you can do this, because sometimes they doubt themselves and they push back because they've seen so often others that haven't done well and haven't been successful in anything that they've tried to do. And so as a faculty and a staff, and just literally the ones that are invested in these boys, that's one thing that we try really, really hard to do, is to actually wrap our arms around them, love them like their own, because to us they are our own.
These young men sitting in this corner are at a courageous school here in Montgomery that I'm really proud exists. And this school exists to help young boys of color find their true passion and their true ability. And my prayer, my hope, my vision is that one day they will be able to live in this country without being presumed dangerous or guilty.
Be prepared, follow procedures, be accountable for yourself, be resourceful, ask for help, be safe, be a team player.
All right, 2 claps.
Jesus!
Do you all know excellent? Because I want to hear it. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
You're not just teaching. You're a mother. You're a counselor. You are sometimes, referee, because you got to tell them just to calm down. You sit on that side. You sit on that side.
A lot of times one of my pet peeves is when people call them anything but amazing. They've been called at risk. They've been called angry. They've been called ADHD, and that's something that I believe a lot of times. I do strongly believe that it's a war going on, and we have to fight harder for these boys than the enemy or whoever else would fight against them. But we really got to make them feel like they're worth a lot, that they're brilliant, and it's not just the feeling; it's the truth.
Because they all have a story and they all have a need. They really are bright and brilliant, and they have so much to offer the world.
So in the culture and in the DNA here, we really tell them, like, you guys, you come from greatness. Like, it's not a norm, or it's not out of the norm for you to do the things that you're able to do here at Valiant Cross. And we do expose them to a lot of things. They go to college campuses. We have guys who are flying in airplanes. We have some guys who are speaking Korean. Our athletic programs are excelling. But it's all because we have a lot of high expectations and a lot of love on our young people here. And I just believe that my father was the equalizer in my life. And I think the more young people we can touch, generation-wise, and breaking curses, and just generationally, years down the road, it's going to be exciting to see what happens with these young men here at Valiant Cross Academy.
out here working hard. Keep working hard, man. Keep working hard. I'm gonna get one big kiss. Can I get a picture?
When I get done with high school, I want to start my own business.
I want to be a pharmaceutical chemist, a defense attorney, or I may just go with sports.
It's going to be an amusement park. So once I get done with college, which is probably going to take about 7 years because of what I'm trying to do, I'm going to have to find myself some investors to start an amusement park. I'm going to place the first amusement park in the major cities. I want to go to college. I want to be a pilot.
All right, I just believe in the power of mentoring. Mentoring to me personally has been the most rewarding, I don't want to call it a profession, I want to say calling that I've ever had on my life. And I do believe in mentoring. I believe that there are a lot of people who have been exposed to things, who have had those experiences in life, who have had those educational experiences as well as just real life experiences that need to pass those on to the next generation. I think that is a lost art. Mentoring was a byproduct of just how people grew up, like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s here in Montgomery. Like the pride they had in their schools, like the George Washington Carvers or the Booker T. Washington High Schools and the St. Jude's, because it was strong mentoring relationships that they had with their teachers, their pastors, and youth leaders in the community. And I believe that if we all get back to understanding our role to mentor young people, I think we'll all be better off.
In the face of so many hardships and obstacles, these kids need guidance. They need someone to help them navigate through the harsh realities of life. They need someone to help them rewrite their narrative. Simply put, they need mentors.
So it's time for the Jump Out Boys again. It doesn't matter. We'll come to your house. We understand that people don't want to come to school during this pandemic, and that's okay. But if you're at home, you're going to do your work. We're coming to your house, guys. We don't have our van, but we're on the back of a truck. We're coming to get you. We're coming to get you. Let's go. We just want you to do your work, man.
That's all. Just do your work.
Just turn your assignments in on time. Don't be late.
If it's easy, then I question whether or not you're actually making impact. It's supposed to be rough. You're supposed to have days when you walk away beaten, worn down, and quite frankly, asking yourself, do I really want to do this?
And so I believe that a lot of people communicate, but very few people connect, and we have to get proximate to these babies because it's easier to build strong men and strong women than it is to repair broken men.
March the 12th, 47 years ago, I was looking into a casket, my mom's funeral. I was a 13-year-old kid. My mom had a heart attack and died. And on March the 12th, 1972, we buried her. And the next day was a whole different world that I never recognized. Before, intact family, clothes ironed, going to school. Before, lunch packed, homework checked, put to bed on time, and woken up in the morning to go to school. Breakfast. That was the life I had March the 6th before my mom passed. March the 12th, after we buried her, it was a whole different world. No one was there to do those things. And so it took community. It took, for me, mentors. It took outside sources to guide me from 13 to 19.
You know, just like the young man that we started off, that was my first mentee. When God told me to show him how to win more than basketball games, but how to win in life. Like, he changed my life like I changed his, because all of these kids give me purpose. You know, I'll probably be doing the same thing that got me locked up the first time if I didn't have purpose. I think that's what a mentor does. A mentor helps you guide purpose and find purpose, because what are you living for if you have no purpose?
But I think the ultimate transforming work comes through what Christ does in our heart. But honestly, some of our kids may or may not ever know who Christ is. So in the meantime, I want to modify some behavior and keep you from doing crazy stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm one of those guys, I'm like, yo, my faith is evident in what I do, but even if you don't accept it, you know, let's give you something that's gonna enhance your education. You know what I'm saying? Let's give you something that's going to show you how to be economically sustainable. Let's give you something that's going to keep that gun or whatever out of your hand to keep you from destroying yourself and destroying others. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think mentors are in the position to save lives. I think they're a conduit that I feel like the Lord uses to kind of dig people out of a tough situation.
Come on, we see this guy living with his mom. Ain't no male, no positive male influence in his life. Make an effort to go build a relationship. Take them out to get some wings, meet some of their natural needs. You know what I'm saying? Basic stuff. You know, especially if they're in high school. Get them some school clothes. You know, help them meet their natural needs and then teach them about Jesus. But it's gonna take the men, the church, and that's the answer. The gospel fix every crack that's wrong with society. The gospel, it closes the crack. But we carry the gospel. So if we don't take the gospel to them, then how are we gonna close the doors? How are we gonna fix the crack?
And I lived and was formed. I feel my formative years, the man that I am today, was developed in South Carolina from 78 to 83. And I've been away from South Carolina since 1983. But I'm a fruit of that product. And I delivered from what was put inside. And that's what I believe fruit means for me, is that what you pour in is what you can expect from the vine. If you pour into children, you pour into young men, you pour into young people, you can expect that fruit to produce.
I've been mentoring and I've been working with young people for over 15 years. And now I'm really beginning to see a lot of those fruit from the seeds that I planted early on. A lot of those seeds I didn't even know would even yield the fruit that they are yielding, like yourself. But it's just good to always mentor, and don't worry about what's going on around you. I just keep running, I keep moving forward, I keep correcting, I keep loving on them. And you know, I think at the end, I always say that if my funeral is not packed, maybe I hadn't made the impact I need to make. And that's just something I firmly believe in. I just want to impact as many people as I can.
I just want to wake up every day and know that I made a difference, and know that I touched somebody. There's an old song that says, if I could just help somebody, an old gospel song, as I travel along the way, then my living won't be in vain. If I could just help one little girl that's struggling with self-esteem, one little boy who's suicidal, one elderly veteran, then my living won't be in vain. And so I want to make sure that when I go to my grave, I leave this world empty, because they say the richest place in the world is the graveyard. So many people leave this earth not tapping into their God-given purpose, not tapping into those gifts that God gave them. I want to leave empty. I want to pour everything out of me that God instilled in me into these kids.
All of the people who have had an opportunity to plant seeds in my life and touch me in a very unique way, to make me understand and appreciate them, and to know the difference in terms of who put me on the right path based upon the seeds in which they planted in me, from their fruits, from their sacrifices, to make me the person that I am today.
All of us are producing some type of fruit in somebody's life, whether we're doing it intentionally or not, because people watching us. So you really need to ask yourself, what type of seed am I planting that's going to produce what kind of fruit? Because you're producing fruit, bad fruit, good fruit, you know. So fruit ties into seed, man. How you living, you know, who you loving, what they seeing, you know. And I mean that's everybody. You know, so if you go to Walmart or you at the school or whatever, you know, what kind of seeds are you planting, you know? Because right now we're all influential. You know, we all run around with a bag of seeds. like it or not, intentional or not, you have a bag of seeds in your pocket. I got a bag of seeds in my pocket.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody that gave us these presents. And I want to say that y'all are true brothers to me. And I thank y'all for coming today.
How will I be remembered? What did I sacrifice to a world that's in need of so much? Did I plant a seed, or did I live in greed, chasing all of the things I never needed? Whether you live your life like king or poor like a king, the only thing that rings is how you sown your seeds. Can you give new life? Did you linger heavenly? The only thing that matters to me, they will know us by our fruit. They will know by what was left behind. Did you teach the young and lost and help to save their mind? To live your life in truth, what did you pursue? What will the world say about you? They will know us by our valiant is he who can gain the world and never lose his soul, who can rise above, yet show so much love that inspires